What is going on, guys? It is Sunday night, and it is time for the I-71 Playbook Podcast. I am BB, and with me, as always, is BC. You look a little different tonight, sir. What's the occasion?
How did I know you would comment on the reduction of facial hair? No
I'm
occasion.
observant. What can I say?
No occasion. Springtime is here. You don't need the face mask here to keep the cold out. It's springtime. I mean, seriously, brackets are being busted. We have opening day on Thursday. The draft is a month away. It's a good time of year, BB. And why not? I like looking like a teenager again. It's awesome.
All right, Mr. 12-year-old. Okay.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Joe. I look less 47 with this. I look less 47.
You are the more favorable 47 option than others that are out there, sir. So we'll just leave it there.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So you did mention opening day is this week. We know who's going to be. It is one of your favorite times of year. I mean, I've even got the wild thing going on. You know, little Ricky Vaughn.
I got a little prediction for the future. A little October baseball coming to the Gardos this year.
Oh.
And we'll talk about. It seems like we're in a minority of believing that as we looked at the national media this week. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Well, so it looks like, and as of yesterday, I haven't looked to see if they played again today. They were 11-17 in spring training. But we also have, we've got the go-ahead of who's taking the mound for us on Thursday. And it is Mr. Tanner Bybee. So,
recipient of just a $50 million contract extension by the Guardians yesterday. So, good week for Tanner, opening day starter, and he gets paid through 2030. Yeah. And once again, just a prediction. In about 2 years, he is going to be the most underpaid starting pitcher in baseball. He's going to be the best bargain in baseball.
Oh,
the Guardians are so good. They identify talent early. They get them on team-friendly contracts. I mean, their front office is just incredibly
cheap.
The word I try to think of is prophetic. They are really good at identifying talent and getting them early and getting them cheap, and that's how they've operated, and that's why they've been such a successful franchise. We've talked about this numerous times. We've given the Dolan kudos where other people kind of put them down, but with the market restrictions that they have, the Guardians are always they're always competing. So Tanner Bybee got his bag, and he gets to throw out the first pitch for the season. Absolutely, snaps to him.
And like I said a couple of weeks ago, the spring training record isn't impressive. However, I don't care if you win a single game in spring training because the games mean nothing, and everybody's still trying to feel each other out. You're trying to get the chemistry going.
On this very pod, BB, we said, do not worry about the spring training record. We gave that warning a month ago. We said Major League Baseball teams do not care about spring training. They are working on individual things. Hitters are working on new approaches. Pitchers are trying to get new pitches into the arsenal. Like it's more individualistic. It's about those players improving. Yeah. We did find out. I did see that Tristan McKenzie is going to be in the bullpen to start the year because he has not had a good spring and things are not working out. We hope he can find that that former glory because my God, for 2 years there he was near unhittable until he got hurt. So
yeah,
love to see him get it back. But it's Thursday. Let's do this. I'm so pumped.
Time.
I'm so ready.
Ready to go. Also, kind of saw this week. Speaking of making a return to Cleveland. Nolan Jones, the Guardians completed a trade, it looks like, with the Colorado Rockies. So we are sending out Tyler Freeman. So that one kind of hurts me a little bit, only because He's a great kid. They literally stuck him anywhere. Like, they moved him around and just threw him wherever, and he was able to just kind of plug and play, did everything that management was requesting of him, and the thanks you get, unfortunately, because baseball is business. Thanks for everything. Bye.
But for Tyler Freeman, this might be actually a better opportunity because there's a log jam right now in the middle infield throughout the Guardians organization, not just the major league level, but we're talking throughout the minors.
Through the entire pipeline.
They got a couple of the top prospects of middle infielders in all of baseball coming up. So he might get a chance to shine out in Colorado where he might not have the opportunity.
I hope he does. I really do. He's a great kid.
And also, if you remember when we first traded Nolan Jones, he went out to Colorado and went insane and nuts. And, for like
that
3 weeks,
true.
they're like, this guy's a future MVP. But he does give us an outfielder, which we dearly needed with some pop. With some pop in his bat. So, and good trade. Once again, one of those under radar trades that could be really beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of left field when I saw the news break. I was like, really? And then, of course, I had why does this name sound so familiar? Well, the name sounds familiar is because he was playing for Cleveland.
Yeah, he got to start. I believe he was drafted by Cleveland. I believe. And,
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, I actually think he was a Guardians draft pick, or maybe was it the Indians? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I think he was a Cleveland draft pick, and then before he got a chance here, he got traded, and then like I said, he did show a lot of quite a few flashes for Colorado. Yeah. So hopefully he comes back to the American League and tears it up and solidifies that outfield for the Gardos.
Let's hope.
I'm so excited for Thursday.
I know, this is like your Christmas. You are a baseball guy through and through.
I'm a baseball guy to my core, and it just I get excited every year. I can't tell you when I used to coach baseball. I coached high school baseball for a long time, and it was it was this time of year. Like I couldn't even sleep. I was so excited. Seriously, I was so ready to go, and I still get that feeling when opening day. 162 games is a long season. But that first one is so special. It's just special, and it should be a national holiday. It really. We should not have to work. We should all get the day off. First opening day, the next voting day. Okay, that's two next national holidays. You heard it here first.
I like it. I'm here
Brian Earl Spiel 2028. This guy right here. I got ideas.
So I actually, sometimes my show prep doesn't always come from me. My person decides he can send me little things. He's like, hey, you can use this on the pod tonight. He's adorable with it. So, thanks, honey. He sent me something, and it's former Indian making the news again, and not in the best way possible, which is not shocking for him, truthfully. You know him. Some of you love him. Some of you hate him. Good old Trevor Bauer. Drone hands himself.
Ooh.
Decided to stick his nose into the Twitterverse yet again, which has always gone so well for him. Whether he is
Twitter legend,
oh yeah, he's something on Twitter. That's for sure. And not necessarily something good. But there was a report and a tweet that came out, and dealing with a current Dodger pitcher, Julio Urias, apparently has just gotten his second pop for violating the MLB's domestic violence policy. Words are hard, kids. Julio was actually arrested. He was charged and pled no contest to domestic battery. He was actually suspended for half of a season. Now, those of you who will, more than likely remember in Trevor Bauer's hits of media shame, had one official breach of the Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy. Just one. Was not arrested, was not charged, and therefore not convicted, and actually suspended for 2 straight seasons. And now, and according to the sports bobblehead who made this tweet that Trevor then retweeted with his thoughts, that Trevor is seemingly blacklisted from Major League Baseball, allegedly. So Trevor, not one to miss a media opportunity because, I don't know if it's the kid didn't get enough attention as a child, or if mommy and daddy just didn't hug him enough or didn't beat him enough as a child. I don't know. I don't know what this problem actually is. But Trevor retweets it out and is like, it's pretty clear what's actually going on here. What?
What's happening, Trevor?
What's going on, Trev?
What's clear? That you probably got away with a criminal activity and abused somebody and
allegedly
got away with it, and all you had to do was not play baseball. What's happening here, Trevor?
Or could it possibly be that you are the proverbial pain in the ass for every clubhouse that you've ever played in?
Hey, Trevor. Sometimes talent's not worth it. And nobody will ever question your talent. Nobody will ever question your arm. When you were on, you were near unhittable. But sometimes you're just not worth it, buddy. That's what's going on here.
I would honestly suggest, I'm a bit of a music nerd, again, to pull back the curtain to all that is BB a little bit. I'm a music nerd. So if I can maybe give you a little suggestion for the
open.
For the pregame playlist jams, maybe we put a little T Swift in there, buddy. Maybe a little Anti-Hero, because sometimes you are the problem, my friend. Maybe.
It is amazing how athletes, celebrities could get in such an echo chamber that they can't understand their own faults. I'm trying to think the best way to put this. And it seems like Trevor has always been somebody who's never been wrong. And it goes back to, do you remember Trevor's last year with the Guardians? And Terry Francona pulled him out of the game, and he hauled off and took a ball and threw it over center field, threw the ball like 400 feet.
I do. Do you remember my comments regarding that?
I don't, but I would love to hear them again.
When that happened, when Trevor was actually playing with the Indians, let's call it how it was. I don't think he ever actually played for the Guardians. He played for the Indians.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't even, like, the last 5 years is such a blur. I can't.
The last 5 days has been a blur. Like, let's be really honest about it.
That's fair.
Okay, so his last year in the Cleveland organization, I don't even know if it was his last year, though. I just know that this was a thing where he got taken out of the game by Tito, and he yeets the ball out into center field.
By the way, I'm not gonna lie. In real time, I laughed really hard. I laughed. I
did
cried
too.
Laughing. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in baseball.
My whole thing was, I'm like, Trev, dude, go get a cookie, maybe a juice box, maybe a nap. Take a couple minutes, buddy.
Maybe a
Because
therapist.
those are some maybe a therapist. We can talk about that a little bit later on. Because that was a gem from this week too. But yeah, maybe we don't have a temper tantrum on the mound. Maybe we also don't do things like, I don't know, a couple of days before probably the biggest game in your career, a World Series game. Maybe we don't play with the brand new drone and cut your finger on your pitching hand, all the shit, before you're supposed to start, buddy. Maybe we don't stand on the mound bleeding like a stuck pig because of our own stupidity. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps.
By the way, can this be the last time we ever talk about Trevor Bauer again?
Sure. Absolutely.
Because I really don't like the dude. I'm not going to lie.
You know what?
One of my least favorite Cleveland athletes of all time. And that's saying something because there's a few.
That's a whole pod. That could be a whole pod of like least favorite Cleveland athletes.
Okay, write it down. Doldrums of the summer. That is a pod right there. Our least.
That should be.
Nobody ever does the least favorite. Everybody always does their favorite. Let's do the worst Cleveland athletes of all time.
That could be fun.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're getting after it. It's set in stone.
I am here for it. I am here for it.
So anything else on the Gardos?
No, I'm excited to see what they do this season. I know we mentioned something pre-pod, and it's yet another I'll let you take this away because this is your
I'm glad you said that because I did forget about that, and I was irate this week. So MajorLeague.com did their preseason power rankings. I just pulled them up right here. Okay. Now I want to remind everybody, not just 6 months ago, not even that, the Cleveland Guardians were playing games to go to the World Series. They legit were playing to go to the World Series. This is a team that won the AL Central again, a team that competes every year.
Mm-hmm.
BB, have you looked at the power rankings this spring? Now, let's talk about the only things that have changed. Okay, we have a new second baseman. We have a new second baseman.
Okay.
And Josh Naylor's gone. Okay, that's it.
Still hurts.
It does.
That one still hurts. Oh.
But pitching staff's been strengthened. We have a better hitting second baseman right now. No offense to Mr. Jimenez. Best fielding, probably best glove in baseball, but he hasn't hit anything in 3 years. And then
I know, but I still love him too.
And we're gonna miss Josh Naylor, and I hope he gets his out in Arizona. But the Guardians are good. They're going to be good again. And I don't understand why every stinking year we have this conversation about how they're being disrespected by national media at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to just pull up MajorLeagueBaseball.com. Okay, their preseason.
Okay.
So what they did was a little unique. They sorted into tiers. Okay, tier 1, the big cheese. Of course, the Dodgers with their $400 million payroll. Like, fair. Okay, they're the team to beat. Tier 2, World Series or bust, and you could probably name these teams. And there's a couple of teams on there. Like Braves, okay, they just recently won World Series. We can go with that. Mets, okay.
I'm still mad with the Braves. Like, I'm still not happy with the Braves.
But
I got PTSD.
Yeah, the Orioles, World Series or bust. Phillies and Yankees. Of course, the Yankees are always going to be there. I'm surprised the Red Sox aren't. As we get down to tier 3, we'll find the Red Sox better than you think they might be. Which is the story of the Cleveland Guardians year after year.
Right.
The story. They're always better than we think they're going to be. Cubs, D-backs, Rangers, Red Sox. Okay. We're in tier 4. We have not mentioned Cleveland yet. Once again, a couple games away from the World Series. And yet, we're playing pretty much the same team. there's still a pretty healthy middle class here. That is tier 4. Giants,
Okay.
Mariners, Padres, Rays, Reds, Royals, Tigers, Twins. Those last 3.
The Royal. Okay.
Royals, Tigers, Twins. 3 teams that the Guardians lapped last year.
Okay.
Let's go to tier 5. They got to be a tier 5, right? Time comes for us all.
Hope so.
Astros and Blue Jays. Let's go to tier 6. Eventually, we'll stop underrating them. The Brewers, once again, who had a good year last year, and the Cleveland Guardians.
Right. The disrespect. Are you kidding me? Like
tier 6 and last in the Central.
Wow.
They once again, they lapped the field last year. It was like they had clinched with weeks to go.
Right.
You know, Detroit went on a nice little run there at the end and got the wild card, and then we spanked them in the division series, and yeah, tier 6. So Mike Petrillo,
we're still not allowed to talk about that series in my house. It's a problem.
The author of this article, Mike Petrillo, I'm sure he's a good dude. No problems personally with him. He's a terrible baseball mind. Like, I have no problem saying that. You suck, Mike. And I am keeping this. I'm going to bookmark this. We're going to save this page because come October, I got his tier 6. Mike, I got your tier 6.
Oh.
Go Guards.
Oh my, you lose the beard and you get all sassy on me. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Lose the beard, lose inhibition, bring it. Let's do it.
I guess. My gosh. Oh.
I just and to Mike's defense, like, it's all over the power rankings. They're in the 20s everywhere. And it's just the most I just don't get it. I mean, they had the coach of the year last year. You know,
they had a rookie coach too.
They had the best reliever in baseball. They have two of the best hitters in baseball with Steven Kwan and Jose Ramirez. And they played once again. They're like the Cavs. They play a great brand of baseball. They you know, it's not just like, hey, we're going to just sit here and try to hit home runs like most of the major leagues. These guys move runners. They hit and run. They are timely with their hitting. Like, they're just a fun team to watch. And the constant disrespect this organization gets. It just, I got nothing.
I mean, it would not be a Cleveland sports team if there wasn't disrespect.
That's all right.
I mean, like I said, because
I wore this for a reason, BB. I wore this for a reason.
I love it. I'm here for it.
For baseball.
You know, and to kind of shift gears just a smidge, you know, to talk about another Cleveland team that's getting the massive amounts of disrespect that they do not deserve. I mean, the Cavs were, now the stats I found, which are probably wrong, you know, their last 10 games, they were 6-4. And unfortunately, the 4 were like the most recent ones all in a row. You know, but they're 56-14 on the season.
57 today. Yeah,
57, because you did say that they win today. So 57-14, my apologies, 57-14, which is amazing. And they're still at least ahead above Boston, you know, which is the media darling favorite. Although you and I kind of said something before going into the pod today. Apparently the Cavs are a little bit like Bruno. Like, we're not allowed to talk about them at all. Like, we want to show love. We want to give them their props, their flowers, because they're succeeding and they're doing amazing. And both times that we went in depth and we talked about the Cavaliers organization, they went on an absolute death spiral. Like, so between last week and now, they lost 4 straight games.
Well, the first time we were like, okay, we got to start talking Cavs. This is amazing. Let's talk Cavs. They were coming off a 12-game winning streak, and they lost 3 or 4. And we were like, okay, we did We didn't learn our lesson. We're like, oh, it's just a hiccup.
Oh.
Last week, 16 in a row. We gave them a lot of time on the pod last week. They go 0-4 for the week. So, guys,
this will be the last time. We are so sorry.
We're doing this from a place of love, not disrespect. We love you guys and we love what you're doing, but we are officially a jinx for you. Yes. So we can't talk in depth about the Cavs, maybe in the playoffs, but even then we'll have to parse our words because we want you guys to win a championship. We're all in.
We're going to have to start speaking in code. Like,
yeah.
We cannot mention, Bruno, Fight Club, Will Smith's bald-headed wife. There's things that we just can't talk. And apparently the Cleveland Cavaliers, there's things that we cannot talk about on this podcast. So they are now, for all intents and purposes, they are the Voldemort of Cleveland sports, which is kind of shocking because they're the ones that are doing the most, making the most noise in a positive fashion.
Yeah.
But guys, we love you. Go kick ass. We are so sorry. Oh my God! It's our problem. No more.
We will not cost you a game the rest of the season. I promise. So, okay. So, as we talked about, we got the NCAA tournament. Always fun. We got baseball starting up. We got the Cavs still best team in basketball, and now,
don't talk about it.
We got to talk about the Browns free agency, and we're getting time to draft preview. We're starting to get a clearer picture where the Browns are going. There is our picture, and then there's the national media picture of what the Browns are going to do in the draft. So, BB, what happened this week in free agency?
So the Browns made a couple of really good signings. One of which is something so totally against what they normally do. So I, on behalf of the I-71 Playbook Podcast, welcome home Jerome Baker. Welcome home, bud.
Subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, buddy, now that you're home. So if you're not familiar with Mr. Baker, not that Baker, although we'd love to bring him back to Cleveland.
By the way, I had a heart palpitation because some goofball I think it was on Blue Sky, said, Browns bring Baker back. Or Browns bring Baker home. That's how they worded it.
Oh.
And I was like,
you might need new pants after that.
It's good to have Jerome Baker back.
So, I mean, this is a great signing, I think, a great defensive signing for the Browns, in my opinion. I mean, this kid is an absolute rock star. 2014 Division IV, the Ohio State high school champion for Benedictine High School.
Holy crap, you went way back in the...
We got his stat line, baby. So this is, again, more receipts.
Holy crap.
More receipts than a CVS. So that is me. Was the number 2 recruit in all of Ohio for 2015. AP first team Division IV All-State team. Twice. 2-time honorable mention for the All Big Ten. The 2021 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award nominee.
Cap.
Yeah. But what's even cooler is this kid was born and raised in Cleveland. Like I said, went to Benedictine High School and made a lot of noise there. Then took his little trip, thanks to your arts and craft project that is beautifully finished. Took that trip down 71 and put in 2 years at The Ohio State University, and it made a lot of noise for them for those 2 seasons that he was down in Columbus. Drafted in 2018. So now, from 2018 to 2024, we've got 648 career tackles. That's not bad. He likes to get some hugs.
Averaging 100 a year. Like, you'll take that. 24
and a half sacks, which, again, not bad.
And by the way, one of the things about Jerome Baker that the Browns have not had under the Andrew Berry regime is a linebacker who rushes the quarterback well. Andrew Berry seems to like smaller, faster coverage linebackers like JOK. And once again, JOK, when he's healthy, I mean, he was playing at an all-pro level last year.
Absolutely, he really was.
He was. I mean, one of the best linebackers. And once again, we hope he's back on the field this year. We just hope he's healthy. But Jerome Baker gives them a little pop that they're not used to having. I bet it's a really Jim Schwartzy kind of linebacker. So really good signing there.
And it's great that you kind of mentioned that he gives quarterbacks problems, because we're looking at 7 career forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 25 pass deflections. So he's getting in there and he's making some noise and making a problem. 5 interceptions and 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, he's had a good career. Like he's not going to Canton or anything.
He really has.
But he's had a solid career. He's a solid pickup for the Browns. Absolutely. He'll be moved right in that starting. Him and Devin Bush will probably be starting linebackers if JOK is not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're okay with that. That's good, solid depth. That's two proven guys. Devin Bush played well last year. Played really well.
He really did. It was his highest productive year last year.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Once again, that it's kind of an under the radar signing, but it's solid. And we went back last year and we talked about the second half of the season. I was listening to a local podcaster talk about how bad the Browns defense was last year, and they weren't. They were a middle of the pack defense, and that's saying something considering the historic nature of how bad the offense was and how much they were on the field.
Right.
And we pointed that out.
The reason that the defense was quote unquote bad last year was because they were exhausted. Yeah. Because they were playing 3/4 of the game, because it was literally either a 3 and out or it was an interception. So it's not necessarily that they were bad. They were overworked and they were exhausted.
Yeah. I think once again, we said this back in the first couple pods in the season. If they could get mediocre quarterback play, this is a top 10 defense, if not top 5 defense. If they can just not be on the field all the time, and like I said, when you look statistically, look at the improvement from the beginning, especially when Watson was in there. How bad the defense looked. It's because they were on the field consistently. They just never came on the field. And once again, they're a good defense. They're bringing back just about everybody except for Sheldon Richardson, Zadarius Smith. But they've done a nice job of filling holes, building depth. Yeah. They're going to get some guys in the draft. I'm not sleeping on the Browns defense. I'm not. And of course, once again, no matter what our feelings about with Miles is, he is still the best defensive player in football. Until proven otherwise, they have the best defender in football. And they have maybe a top 3 cornerback with Denzel. So it's like they're going to be stout defensively if they're not on the field the whole time.
Right. So I think the combination of having Devin Bush and Jerome Baker on the field, along with, as long as he can stay healthy, Denzel, because unfortunately, as much as you and I both love him, and we do,
we're big Denzel fans.
I don't think I don't think he's played a full season since his sophomore year in college. I don't think he's gone a full season.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we can look up. But I think that's fair that he hasn't completed a whole season yet.
And that's not a smack on him again, because I am a huge. But unfortunately, and I think it's partially because of his play style. It's just because he's so physical and he gets in there and he's like, the hell with my body. Well, when you're going to be kind of talking to a corner and drooling by the time you're 40, maybe we do talk about your body a little bit. Okay. Like, let's talk about it.
So, and we may be talking about Deion Sanders more than we ever thought here in a couple weeks. But when Dion played, he never tackled. Like he was out there. He covered. You could not, like, he cut off a side of the field, but he never tackled, and there was a reason. And Denzel is the opposite. Denzel has a covered cornerback.
Right.
Is one of the most skilled covered cornerbacks maybe ever in the NFL. Like, he is a blanket. He's a shutdown cornerback and does not get the respect. He should be, with a couple more great years, be considered for the Hall of Fame. He's that good. Because once again, you'll see a cornerback have a good year this year, good year that year. They fall off. Denzel, every stinking year, is a top 3 cornerback when he's on the field. He is.
Right.
But it would behoove the Browns to exactly what you said. He's 200 pounds soaking wet. He's not a big dude. He's slight.
No.
And ridiculous athlete. But he
lays hits down like he is a 350-pound, linebacker.
And then he hits hard, and he plays the game. He plays the game violently. And I think it's that time where the Browns are like, hey, we don't need that from you. We just need you to cover. That's all we need. We just need you to cover. And I hope he can make some of those adjustments. I mean, sometimes, as a guy played football, sometimes that's just in you. Like, you just have a dog in you, and you want to mix it up.
That is the dog that he's got it.
Yep.
See, but the problem, though, is, the dog in him is a 150-pound Rottweiler in a Chihuahua body. Like, buddy, I love you, but we don't need to have. Don't get me wrong; they're great to watch, like from a fan standpoint. Like those hard pops when they're just nasty and just they're great. But again, my guy, you are going to be drooling on yourself and talking to purple elephants on the wall by the time that you hit 40.
And once again, and I've learned this, not that I've been working on a PhD in CTE, but as somebody, I'm pretty sure that I suffer from CTE. You can ask anybody in my life. Like I said, I'm pretty sure in the 90s I had at least 7 concussions. As somebody, some people are able to kind of shake it off. T Swift reference number 2. So some people can shake it off. It seems like Denzel, like he gets a concussion, but he's fine. Like he clears protocol. Couple weeks, he's back out. But I still wonder about the long-term damage he's taken with all these concussions, even though he gets back on the field. And I just really hope he does. You and I have talked about this in private when he's been hurt. Like we're like, dude, just lay off the hit, just cover. That's all we need you. Just keep the ball out of Jamar Chase's hands. By
the way, I know we don't talk about them much. God.
Did you see the Steelers are trying to trade him, by the way?
I can't imagine why, because they just brought in another,
in there.
Yeah. So that's Mike Tomlin is a lot of things. I think secretly, he likes the drama a little bit. Like, I think he likes to stir the pot and watch it and sit back. Clearly, because now you've got an offensive room with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Like, that is literally the same level of drama of 2 middle school girls who just found out that they've been Snapchatting the same dude.
By the way,
like, it's a problem.
As bad, we're going to talk about the Browns QB room. As bad as the Browns QB room, their starting quarterback, if season started today, is our starting quarterback's backup. Because did you see they re-signed Mason Rudolph? And that's the only quarterback they have on the roster right now. Good luck, Pittsburgh. Good luck.
You know what? I will. The person who told me, who sent me the alert, was someone who also knows my feelings regarding Mason Rudolph. So, when it happened, again, I didn't see the alert on my phone, and my person is sitting on the other end of the couch from me, and he starts snickering, and I'm like, what did you find? And he sends me the article. So I look at it and I'm like, no. And again, I had a little bit of a Steel Magnolias moment looking at Mike Tomlin. Are you high, Clary? What? Mason Rudolph, like that is your starting quarterback.
Right now, it is. Unless they upgrade the room to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God. As a lifelong Browns fan, and as someone who absolutely cannot stand the anything Pittsburgh, I can't do it because it's born into us. It's instilled into us from birth. Please, for the love of everything,
I'm begging you, sorry, Aaron Rodgers,
just
please
do it.
You spent 6 hours with him on Friday and you let him leave the building. Don't do that. You got to sign him right there. You want Aaron Rodgers. You want the McAfee show. You want it all.
Right. So because unfortunately it was also broken this week that, Aaron Rodgers will not be completing the Brett Favre career mediocrity trajectory, unfortunately. As Minnesota has said, dude, we want no part of you. Like, no, I'm good, love. Thank you. We are so good.
I was just thinking about this pod. We were talking about the worst. We were saying we'll talk about the worst Cleveland athletes, but let's talk about like the tiers. Okay, since we talked about the MLB tier list, let's talk about the tiers. Okay, Deshaun Watson. Okay, hold on. Just follow me here. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Bauer, Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers. It is a quadfecta of perfection on the pod this week. Holy crap! We have hit the lowest of lows with those four this week.
The power indexes of assholery. We hit it all. Oh my goodness!
Holy crap! By the way, we did not plan. I just want everybody to know we did not plan that.
No, we did not plan that. But good Christ, yeah, that we hit them all. Like holy hell!
Imagine the quarterback room with Mason Rudolph and Aaron Rodgers. Can you imagine the conversations those two guys are having?
I want to be a fly on the wall.
Please let this happen.
Like I just want to sit there.
We gotta get hard knocks in there.
And be like, no. Do what you're doing. I don't want any ayahuasca. Go ahead. No. I'm just gonna. No. Keep talking amongst yourselves. I can give you a topic. Go.
Their quarterback coach is trying to break down. The quarterback coach is trying to break down film, and Aaron Rodgers it's way too light in here. And then Mason Rudolph is like, what? Hold on, I'm going to stop on the Mason Rudolph because I'm going to get canceled if I go on that one. Let's just say we do agree that Miles had a reason why he swung a helmet. Ooh, so
he did. He absolutely did. But you know what? So you know who was even more giddy about the Steelers making the sign off of Mason Rudolph? Is probably Miles. Miles is looking at that going,
Could see him twice a year. So anyway, talk about the Browns quarterback room. Once again, we're still. I know Deshaun Watson.
The quarterback room of shame.
We have. I just want to remind people. We said from the very beginning after the Deshaun Watson Achilles tear that he would never ever suit up for the Browns again. He is never suiting up for Browns. I don't care what Instagram videos he's putting out there. I don't care if he's rehabbing in Berea. I'm telling you right now, he's never playing for. He's already been told that he's never playing for the Browns again. He is looking for the next job. He is looking for that next opportunity. Just please, heard so many people freaking out this week about, Watson might come back this year. No, he's not in the plans. And that leads me to my next point. The next point is
The next job that he's looking for involves hands. That's all I'm gonna say.
And BB.
No.
So
I am delightful, sir.
You are a delight. You are the best co-host a guy could ask for.
Sir.
What?
I believe you are the co-host, my friend. You are the Rhoda.
I thought we were co-host. Wow. I thought we were co-host. I thought we were.
See, you should never have told me that there are people who watch the pod solely for me. Because now you're not going to be able to tell me shit. I am the Mary.
Has
and if you don't get that reference, bless you.
Hey, has Ron Burgundy one time said, we'll be co-people. Okay, so moving on. If you haven't seen Ackerman Kids, watch it. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. So,
my goodness.
Really quickly, as you know, BB, I probably look at 1,346 mock drafts a day. It is a passion of mine. I also go on the mock draft simulators, which we're going to do on one of the pods here, before the draft.
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna get all fancy here and show a mock draft here, at least for our first two picks for 2 and 33. Now, that being said, it is kind of being accepted now that Cam Ward is going to Tennessee. Tennessee has not said a word about this. It just,
of course, they're not going to say a word.
We get these ebbs and flows, and of course, if they were putting out they want Cam Ward first, okay, that probably means the pick's for sale, and they're not set on Cam Ward. But
right,
you know, we've only been watching draft all our lives. We understand how this stuff is. It's silly season,
of course.
But most of the mock drafts, except for Tom McShay, most of the mock drafts have the Browns taking Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Both great players, maybe future Hall of Famers themselves. Probably maybe the two most talented guys. I am not ever leaving the thought until that Thursday at the end of April that the Browns are drafting quarterback number 2. Like I've been steadfast about this. I believe it. The Browns are taking, and I told you who this week. Who I'm like.
You did.
I am assured in my head they are taking Shedeur Sanders. Even if Cam Ward's there,
I think more out of him. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, even if Cam Ward's there and they have the choice, I think they're taking Shedeur. There's so much smoke to this pick. From Shedeur making all the overtures to the Browns, other Cleveland athletes, by the way, if you haven't seen that, reaching out to Cleveland Guardian minor leaguers on Instagram and.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think he's acting almost as if he's been told we're taking you too, like he literally is acting that way.
And they may have. I mean,
they may have. We don't.
They may have reached out to him at the combine.
And we know him and Cam Ward are tight, and it's very possible the Titans said we're taking you at 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so with all this being said, the national media for some reason doesn't seem to think the Browns need a quarterback. Titans need a quarterback. They're desperate. The Giants need a quarterback. They're desperate. There's no more historically desperate team for a quarterback than the Cleveland Browns.
Well, hold on, because that was another thing this week that I had on my little show prep is New York just went out and got themselves a quarterback.
Yeah,
media darling Jameis Winston.
Wait, he's gonna be great in New York. I was so excited when I saw that. He's going to be a national story, especially if he starts, because right now we're all waiting on Aaron Rodgers. As he's considering if the moon landing actually happened or something like that. We're all sitting there waiting on Aaron Rodgers. When he decides where he's going, we'll know where Russ is going, and we'll have a better idea who's drafting who. I don't care who the Browns take as their next quarterback. I think they're taking Shedeur, and I think we should get used to that idea. And I'll be honest with you, BB, You and I have been right a lot more than we've been wrong on this pod. And
shockingly enough, I know.
And we are two people who have seen a lot of sports and a lot of Cleveland sports, and we kind of know how to read the tea leaves here. And like I said, I will be shocked if Shedeur Sanders. And let me give you another reason too. And I think we talked about this last week. I didn't tell you about this. I had a really tough discussion with my season ticket rep at the Browns, Kai, who called me and said,
"Really,
Brian, man, can we keep you on?" And Kai's a great dude. He's a great dude. I've talked to him numerous times. The Browns season ticket office is fantastic. Everybody that's worked there for him, fantastic. And I just told him, I said, look, I can't do it anymore. I said, this was a dream of mine, and I just sat through 3 and 14. I sat through Deshaun Watson. I watched Baker get let go. I said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't spend this money. And he's like, I get it. He's like, the performance it's hard to spend a couple grand on a performance. I'm like, it is. It really is. I got other things I like to spend that money on. And I got an awesome setup in my house to watch football. And I don't lose a whole day. And when you go up to the stadium, it's a $200-300 day at least. So, it adds, I mean, you're talking probably by the end of the year, 10 grand you spent to watch the Browns go 3 and 14. So anyway, we had this great conversation. I told him, I said, no, I'm done. But did you see who is playing? Did you see what they're doing for season ticket holders draft night?
I have not. Okay,
so they are having a draft extravaganza for season ticket holders at Huntington Bank Field. Really cool. Really cool. Like, I host a draft party that I've been hosting for 20 years. Me and my friends, we get together every year and do this. So I would not have went, but opening.
I have my own draft day traditions, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, I'll start with watching draft day, then going into the draft.
We watch draft day, and then we also make pancakes. So we can, in fact, be pancake eating. Finish the line.
That a girl. Okay, so so the Browns are having a concert before the draft for season ticket holders, and then they're going to play the draft on the big board. Do you know who is playing? Cool. Do you know who's playing the concert? You probably didn't hear this, did you?
I have heard none of this.
It would be none other than Journey. Journey. Rock Hall legends themselves.
So now hold on, because now I've got a really big question for you.
Yes.
Is it gonna? Are they bringing back? Are they getting the whole band back together? Like, are they bringing Steve in? Or
I don't know if Steve's coming in. I know. There's been flirtations with him coming back to the band, but regardless, I mean, one of the greatest rock voices of all time, Steve Perry, who I saw at a Planet Hollywood in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, one time. But anyway, conspiracy hat time.
Oh, okay. Hold on, wait. The glasses are coming off. Hold on. Okay. The hat's off. The glasses are off. Let's go.
The Browns bring Journey. I'm just going to paint a picture for you. We're going to say 30, 40,000 people in Huntington Bank Field. It's a beautiful spring night in April. 60 degrees. And Journey puts on a killer show like they always do. It's why they've been around for 40 years.
Of course.
And they stop playing. The draft starts. Pick one rolls in. Tennessee Titans take Cam Ward. University of Miami, number 1.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. And we start hearing whispers. And the next thing you know, with the number 2 pick, the Cleveland Browns take their future, their quarterback, the guy they have identified, none other than Shedeur Sanders. And Journey comes back on stage and starts playing Don't Stop Believin'.
Credits.
They're not doing that for an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, BB.
I think you're right.
They're taking a quarterback at 2. And Journey's going to play Don't Stop Believing right after that pick, and the place is going to go nuts, and we're going to see prime time, we're going to see Shedeur, and the circus is coming to Cleveland, and that kid is going to ball out. That kid's going to ball out for Cleveland. Him and Baker, the only 2 I've ever seen say, I want that smoke. I want that Cleveland job. The only 2 I've ever seen say it. I want that pressure. True. And
That
I'm
is
going to tell you
true.
right now, had Baker not got hurt, Baker would still be here. And he would be playing
That
the
is
Pro Bowl
fair.
lever for the Browns. But I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders and Journey, a month from Thursday, game on.
See, that's wild that they're doing that for draft day when
Right?
you would think that they would have done something like that when, I don't know, they hosted the draft in Cleveland.
I'm just saying that when I saw that, my immediate thoughts were like, they're going quarterback. And they're going to play one of the greatest rock anthems of all time after they take that quarterback at 2. And like I said, it's Shedeur or bust in my head until somebody tells me differently or proves it differently to me. And I'm all for it. Like I said, I've said, I'm a Cam Ward guy.
You are.
I'm a Will Howard guy. I like
Yep.
Jalen Milroe. By the way, Jalen Milroe goes out and runs a 4.340 this week as pro day. And just all of a sudden, once again, he's a first-round quarterback again because he ran a 4.340. And it's like we heard that before on this pod that he was going to run a 4.340 and then be a first-round pick again. But going back to this, you and I have both said we want them to identify the guy and take him and roll with him. No matter who that quarterback is, whoever their scouts, whoever, they're spending millions of dollars researching these guys, reviewing these guys. You get your guy and you roll. And let's talk play. Let's get excited because you're going to have a new quarterback.
Yeah.
You got a good defense coming back. You watch this too. The Nick Chubb signing will be right around that time too. They're going to build a narrative here. They're going to get the fan base back. You watch this.
I'm hoping so because
they're smart. They're smart in Berea. They know what they're doing.
So you and I did actually talk about it being about Shedeur being the guy, and the closer that we get to the draft, the less I hate that pick. I guess I'm kind of warming up to it. And part of it is because, and I don't know if it's because his dad has probably brought a team around to give him media training. But you're absolutely right, though. The fact that he's taking the Baker approach and going, I want to be the guy. I want to do this for the city of Cleveland. And okay. So you know what? Here's the deal. And let's go with it. They, Emperor Goodell Katine comes out and says with the number 2 pick of the 2025 draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, University of Colorado. And the place goes nuts, and Journey comes on, and they're
Did you say Goodell Katine? As an Emperor Palpatine reference? Did you just make an Emperor Palpatine reference?
I did.
Brilliant. Sorry.
Am I not allowed? Am I not allowed to
do it?
What? Am I not allowed to use your hate? Yes. Am I not allowed to refer to as the commissioner of the National Football League? Am I not allowed to compare him to Emperor Palpatine?
I don't think we've been on a pod yet where I haven't cried laughing. Thank you. I needed that. Okay.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
King. But anyway, so here's the deal. I like the fact that he wants to be the guy in Cleveland. He knows he knows the history and all of the heartache and then whatever that not only the city has endured, the fan base has endured, the organization has endured, and to take on that massive undertaking of being the one to turn it around. And now when I say this, let's not get it crazy and twisted here. I don't think it's going to be a year one. I mean, it's going to be a trajectory. We're going to, it's like an escalator. We're going to go up. It's not going to be, we bring in Shedeur and we're now, 15-2 and we're looking at the AFC North Championship and then beyond. It's not going to be a year one thing. Let's be real honest about it. I would be happy if we broke even for the season. If that's what we did, that's what we do.
It's a huge improvement. It's a huge improvement. Like, I mean, if you go 500 and you're in the playoff hunt until December, like, I think people will be, especially with the rookie quarterback. I think people are like, oh, we see some hope for the future. Bring that Brook Park Stadium on. Let's do this. Too soon for the Brook Park talk?
And you're right. Like, he has been absolutely just writing love letters to the city of Cleveland and to the Browns organization. So there is a lot of credence, I think, to that they are taking him at too. And
go ahead.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If they do it, if that night in April, excuse me. I'm looking at your shirt and I'm still thinking about October. But that draft night in April, and all of this has culminated with him being taken at number 2 to Cleveland. Now it's time to go to work. You've talked, and now we got to back it up. Now we got to come and do it. So, and I think he can do it, but it's not going to be a overnight thing. But kind of using that though, there are still some pieces that we need to do in free agency. There's still a lot of really great options that are available, including one man crush named Nicholas Jamal Chubb, who is not put pen to paper yet with Berea, which makes me a little nervous. I know they're going to get it done.
I think the longer he is unsigned, the better chance it's the Browns. And so, I think Andrew Berry. Once again, we've fairly criticized him. One thing he has done well, we said, is he takes care of guys whether they're coming or going.
That's right.
And I have a feeling he said, "Hey, look, you go out there and get your best deal. We'll match it. You set your market, and whatever that is, we want to bring you home." Because they know that the market's not going to be huge for a guy that's coming off of 2 injuries, one catastrophic. But I do also think
any other player though, but he is not human. So any other player who's coming off of 2 really horrific knee injuries to the same knee, that it's maybe you're gonna see a misstep in production. But Chubb is not human, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, he is not human. So I don't think that he's gonna lose too much of it. But I mean, even with our quarterback, so you take Shador at 2. I don't really think you're gonna. Maybe you're gonna try something different when he comes out of training camp and whatever this summer. But I don't think we're going to roll with a rookie quarterback. And I really don't think that Kenny Pickett is going to be the guy. So they're going to have to bring in another veteran. There are some big names that are still out there. Some that I absolutely want to see steer clear of Berea with everything possible. Aaron Rodgers. But
he's not coming to Cleveland. He's not coming to Cleveland. We don't have to worry about that.
Well, again, the talking heads have said he's the landing spot for him is either going to be the Giants or for here. The Giants went out and took Jameis. Saquon Barkley called it at the Super Bowl week. Jameis to the Jets, or the Giants, excuse me. Giants. Wrong New York team. Russell Wilson met with Berea, was there for a couple of hours, left with no deal. So, however, I believe his next meeting was with New York, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he met with the Giants. So, yeah, I mean,
so let me. So you've got your conspiracy hat backwards. Let me take my glasses back off so I can get back in the conspiracy corner. So, with the fact that New York locking up Jameis, do you think that's going to now lead to us possibly bringing in Russell Wilson for at least the season?
So if we're once again, I like to read tea leaves, and we talked about Myles Garrett's interview with Andrew Siciliano this week, where he said he had an idea who the quarterback was going to be, and he was excited about it. Nobody's getting excited about Russ. Nobody's getting excited about Carson Wentz. Like these are people that you're not getting excited about. You get excited about a rookie that you like. And I don't know Myles' relationship with Sanders or Cam Ward or Will Howard or Jalen Milroe or whoever, maybe Jackson Dart. I don't know. But there's something there. And the Browns not rushing to sign a free agent veteran once again just furthers me to believe they already know and they've already told who they're taking it to, thinking that he's going to be there. And that is going to be the quarterback that they are going to hopefully be able to start opening day. Now, once again, it's going to be a rookie. And Kenny Pickett might legit be the starting quarterback opening day if that rookie's not. Like, he might be. Carson, if they bring it in and they sign Carson, if they sign Carson Wentz, they're taking, like, you just mark it down. They're taking the quarterback. There's no doubt. They're not rolling in this season with Kenny Pickett and Carson Wentz and a quarterback in the third round. That's not happening. So going back to this, once again, this just all goes back to, I think they've already told Shador that he's the pick. Like, I really, truly believe this.
I think so. I mean, just based off of how he's acting in the media since the combine, since pro day, I think you're right. I think he knows. But there's still some needs that the Browns have. I mean, they did a lot of. We need running back, wide receivers. We need a lot. And
our tight end.
The fact that the Browns are not doing, in my opinion, which is not going to shock anybody, it's not going to be anybody. They're not doing nearly enough in free agency that they should be doing, truthfully, because of just how many needs that they have. And yeah, they can fill some of those needs in the draft, because we do have some capital and some picks. But again, you can't roll with all just rookies. You got to have some grit and some veterans. But there's some big names that are still available, and there are a handful of them I would love to see in Cleveland.
But don't be surprised if the Browns start 3 rookies this year. Opening week. They have 3 very primo picks at the top of each round. All three of those need to be starters. They all have to be starters. And if they are, and if one's a quarterback, one's a running back, one's a tight end, or one's a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, they're actually going to be okay. They're actually, because once again, other than the quarterback, you can start Jerome Ford. You can start Nick Chubb. You're going to start David Njoku. You're going to start Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. Like, look, those guys can come along. They can be your second, third options, and you're okay. Right. You're building depth that way. But quarterback wise, like I said, it comes back to quarterback. BB, the Browns have to get quarterback right. We've been screaming it. We've been screaming it forever.
They absolutely do.
And so, who are some of those free agents that you were thinking about?
So, as of last night, kind of doing a little research, seeing who's still available, who's on the board. A couple of names at running back. Obviously, Nicholas Jamal Chubb. He's still out there floating, and that makes me nervous. Another name that is out there, one, that it surprises me that he's still available, and 2, for selfish reasons, I would absolutely love to see him in some brown and orange, and that is J.K. Dobbins. I would absolutely love to see him as a 1-2 combo with Chubb. I think that would be dangerous. I think it could be. I mean, both of them have no problem with chewing up yardage.
Once again, when healthy too, he's been productive. Like, he's been good, but his problem is staying on the field, and that's why you'll get him cheap if you want to sign him.
Right. I mean, yeah. So this would be his third team, you know, in the league, and for a young running back, that's not ideal. But again, he, like his former Buckeye brother, you know, has the same problem that Denzel has. Is he cannot stay healthy. He's a smaller guy who plays with absolutely no regard and with no abandon for his body. Like, he just puts his body through absolute hell.
And we know that Kevin Stefanski's going back to his own read offense, his bread and butter, that West Coast version of zone read. And
right.
J.K. Dobbins, he's a great one cut go guy, very much like Nick Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
One cut, hit hole, gone. Yep. And that's what you need. You need to be able to read. You have to process ridiculously quickly, but if you can, you're going to run for 1,500 yards. Like it's just. Mm-hmm. So I think he'd be a great fit for Stefanski's offense. I think they're going to take a running back very high in the draft with 33, 64. One of those picks they're going to take a running back, because the running backs, there might be 3 running backs go in the first round. And I still say that I still think there's going to be 4 quarterbacks at least go in the first round, no matter what anybody's saying.
Minimum. I mean, because everyone last year was saying the same thing, that it was a weak quarterback class, and you know they weren't going to go very high, and then 5 of them went in the top 20. Was it 6?
6 went in the top 12, right?
Yeah,
6. Yeah, I think so. 5, 6, whatever.
It was either 5 or, it was 5 or 6.
Bunch went early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of wide receivers that are still in play. Amari Cooper still hasn't put pen to paper again. I would absolutely love to bring him back. You know, he performed really, really well for us when we had him, up until he had to play for Deshaun Cosby. Now, there's also Stephon Diggs who's available. That wouldn't necessarily suck as a wide receiver option for us either.
Here's my problem with Stephon Diggs. He played with C.J. Stroud this year. He played with Josh Allen the year before. And all he did was bitch and moan about his quarterbacks. Like, I don't want him. He's never happy. He's always a headache.
That's fair. So it's another Odell situation. Yeah, that's
it's never, you know, his production is never his good production is his doing. Bad production, somebody else's fault. I don't think you want that, especially if you're actually trying to insert some youth to this team. There are other guys out there, you know, even an Amari Cooper I'd rather have. At least he's going to be quiet, you know. So
yeah, I mean, that's fair. But I mean, there's still a few veteran QBs who have already laced it up for Cleveland. You know, the $7 million man himself, Case. No. What do you mean no?
Already played for we need a new room. Don't bring anybody back. Just don't bring anybody back.
Not even Keenum, who has played under Kevin Stefanski's offense. No, really.
No, go young.
You take Kenny Pickett, bar none.
At this point,
over.
Yes. At this point,
really.
Yeah. I don't need guys who've, you know, there was a reason even when Baker was hurt that they weren't playing Case Keenum. Like, Baker was hurt and they were paying him a bunch of money and they still didn't play him.
Right.
And Case Keenum had a great season under Kevin Stefanski. Had one great year. And he's awesome. He's awesome in the was it Progressive or Geico commercials, whatever one they do the.
It is the Progressive commercials who have 4 former Browns quarterbacks in their commercials.
As a State Farm guy now, I need to keep an eye on my enemies. Anyway, no, seriously, great commercials there with Case Keenum, but you know, think about it. In that Case Keenum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett, former quarterback backups for the Browns. Like, it's just, you know, Josh Dobbs.
Colt
Josh
McCoy
Dobbs is another one.
And Josh Dobbs.
3 former Browns
there's 4.
Who's the fourth?
There's 4. Colt McCoy.
That's right. Colt McCoy's in there. Oh my God. Yeah, just stay away from it. Let it go. I didn't want to bring Jacoby Brissett back. Yeah.
Cleveland-based Progressive Insurance tapping the former Browns quarterbacks.
That makes sense. It all adds up now. Conspiracy corner. So, right? Conspiracy corner again. So, yeah, no, they still have some work to do. I think they've made some really good under the radar moves. They've built some depth.
They have, but they still can do a lot more.
Yeah, and I think we'll get a couple more signings, and then we'll probably get some signings after the draft. Like, to be honest with you, but I just, like I said, the more and more this goes on, I think Shador's the guy, and you know what? I'm going to be 100% on. I've not been on Team Shador this whole time, but if he's the guy, I'm behind him. He seems like a really great kid, tough as nails.
He does.
And, the thing you keep hearing about him is, well, what does he do elite? And then you're like, oh, yeah, he's one of the most accurate passers in the history of college football. He's also.
I don't care what he does elite. Yeah, if he can be serviceable.
Yeah, he's got elite ball placement. He's he's going to be really good in Kevin Stefanski's offense if he's the guy. I truly believe it. And so,
I think so.
So once again, go get your quarterback at 2 and let's roll. Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Huge journey and bring Steve Perry with you because that's the only journey that counts. It's the only journey that counts.
Steve Perry or bust. That's right.
Exactly. By the way, before we start wrapping this up, I do have a shout out.
Oh.
So back in the mean streets of Alliance, Ohio, when I was a kid, some neighbors real close to me I used to play basketball with, the Siegfrieds, Tommy and Jason Siegfried, I grew up knowing, and Tommy was a graduate of Alliance High School, great basketball player. Jason, all-world football, baseball player at Louisville, actually went and played in the minor leagues. Jason's now the head baseball coach at Louisville. Tommy, his older brother, shout out to him, just became a state champion as the Louisville Leopards won the Division III state boys basketball title. Couldn't be happier for the Siegfrieds. Could be happier for Tommy. Way to go. Way to represent.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Buddy. We're proud of you. So.
Good job. That's for you guys. So
like and subscribe, Siegfrieds.
Yeah. Do the thing.
I'm gonna have to tag Jason on this.
Be my guest, please do. Hell, if he wants to come on, we'll bring him on. We'll talk to him.
Bring him and Jason. Bring him and Tommy on. We'll bring the Siegfried boys on. Alliance and Stark County Legends.
Just want to chat. Just a little talk. A little conversation.
Oh, they're good dudes. Love to have them.
So, is there what do we have to look forward to next week?
So opening day, I'm sure we're going to have. Once again, we're now starting to get out of silly season with the draft. We're actually going to start getting some legit intel coming, some legit rumors. I think we'll know. I think we'll know by the end of next week if Cam Ward is going to probably be number 1 pick. This is, by the way, a crazy stat that we can leave on here.
Ooh.
Since 1993, this is the longest the NFL has went into the offseason without a draft day trade yet. Think about that. There has not been a trade this offseason for the first round. It was in the first round draft pick. Not the first pick overall, but first round draft pick. Actually, the first pick overall doesn't usually get traded. It's only been done like 2 or 3 times in the last 20 years. But the fact that there's not a lot of movement, I think a lot of people are just kind of happy where they are and are ready to let the. And I think Tennessee's going to take Cam Ward. I think the Browns are going to take Shador Sanders, and then the rest of the draft will be chaos. But I think those two know they're going 1 and 2.
We love it though. We love the chaos.
Just a hunch. So the Browns having this second pick is making the pod fun, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
I'm sure. And if I remember correctly, is this going to be your first
Yeah, how do we forget this? I'm going to my first Monsters game, BB.
Yay!
A mother of a friend of mine is works for the Guardians and for Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and she is hooking us up with tickets for Saturday night. So I'm going up to Cleveland to watch the Monsters and get rowdy on the boards. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've seen professional hockey.
Minor league hockey, but it's professional adjacent.
It's still professional. They're still getting paid.
It's professional adjacent. Yeah, yep. They're catching a check, but it's professional adjacent. Yep. I'll have to give you some some tips and tricks and do's and don'ts. And
absolutely, please do.
I'm so proud. You're going to a Monsters game. Like that makes my cold little black heart just. Oh, but my buddy's growing up.
No, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I got a text today. Hey, you interested in going? Yeah. What do I have to pay? Oh, it's free. We got tickets. Okay, I'm in. So yeah,
I'm interested in going. Like I do like the hockey. Hello, hi friend.
BB would drive from Michigan to go to the Monsters game for free.
Both of you just assume I haven't done it before. So awesome. I will drive to the Monsters.
So no,
they're fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll talk about Monsters next week. I'm sure we'll have some Browns Guardians stuff, and we will not talk about that other team.
That other team. We can't talk about the team with the orange ball again. Bruno, Fight Club, Will Smith's wife, and the Cleveland basketball team. We can't do it. Nope, no more. Just
we love you guys.
We do.
Keep on balling.
And it's because we love you. We can't. We're not gonna. To quote Talladega Nights, we will not put that evil on you. We can't. We won't do it.
It's been a night of Will Ferrell references, and I'm here for it. Sign me up.
It has. Well, with that all being said, from the dog pound to the shoe, and all of the movie quotes in between, I'm BB.
I'm BC.
This has been the I-71 Playbook Podcast.
Like and subscribe, guys.